So who remembers what from last time? What is the recap for the lost individual? Who
It
else
was a
was
bunch
there?
of role playing and then a battle at the end, and I was super cool and awesome and handsome, and that's all I remember.
So yeah, everybody decided what they were gonna do at the Children's Rebellion camp. Right? They woke up in the morning and were like, "What are we gonna do?" And everybody talked about it. And they ultimately decided that together they would intrigue with the prince, pretend that the group saved the prince from kidnapping, and bring him back to the castle, to the queen, and say that they saved him. And the prince, the prince liked that idea. Fia kind of didn't like that idea, but the prince told her, let me get this figured out, and then I'll make sure that you get treated appropriately with the stuff that you want, because Fia wants to abolish dueling, and she wants to abolish noble classes as well. But and she asked Crash to report back to her and be her eyes and ears, and Crash was kind of like, yeah, sure, sure, I'll do that.
He
Uh,
is okay.
And yeah, so everybody started heading back. They went through the woods. They went past the place where people got killed by a bear. They went past the place where people got ambushed. They went and went. They got to the farmland. They went past the place where there was a riot caused one time. And then walking through the drizzly, rainy farmer fields, they were set upon by some scarecrows that came to life, surprising everyone but Drios. And uh, yeah, and mud puddle people. Here's one. Here's one now. Here's a mud puddle person. Um, Basnik was a horse, and he calmly watched this all unfold. And so the party was attacked by these scary scarecrows that paralyzed everyone in fear, and these mud puddle people that blew rocky mud chunks all over everybody, restraining them with mud. They managed to survive, and they poked around and figured out that these creatures were somehow magically created, because there's really no reason that there should be monsters in this country. There haven't been monsters for centuries, so it's very odd. And it was at that moment that Basnik turned back into a person, and the compatriots found themselves in this drizzly field with pieces of scarecrow lying around them, and mud puddles laying there as mud puddles once more. It getting towards sunset in the grayish, drizzly dusk as sunset was settling in, an hour or two outside the city, with the remembered goal of returning the prince to the castle. And thus the DM silenced himself. Or did he?
Good
The
job,
prince.
guys.
Oh, you a man again?
Yeah.
Are you a man again?
Well, no, I'm still a horse
Ah,
Right.
on the inside.
well,
Why were
great
you a
help you
horse
were.
all day?
It takes a lot of power to be something so great and powerful.
Yeah. I guess it's good to see the version of you that is weak enough for us to comprehend.
We'll just learn to speak horse.
I'll try.
Well, I suppose we keep making our way to the palace. I do not think whoever brought these delightful creatures. Is anyone around now?
Probably not, though they were certainly summoned.
Mhm.
Yeah,
prince
probably
says,
best to get moving.
"Thank you so much for saving me from these creatures. I don't understand how this happened. You all are my protectors in some way."
Not a problem at all, Your Highness. It is my pleasure and my duty to get you safely to your mother.
Yes, not in some way. We definitely saved your ass.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you. He looks down at you because you're 3 feet tall. Thank you so much.
Do you, Your Highness, do you know anyone in the palace with magical talents who could have done something like this?
No. No one in the palace that I can think of. There is the Mage College, there is the Tamawin family, there are many people who do magic,
But-
but to create these creatures to attack us, I do not know.
Do you think they knew you were coming, or were they just here? Will they have any way of knowing you were here?
I know less than you all.
Maybe was it someone in the children's camp or someone near? If they've never attacked the children's camp before and only now are attacking, I assume it had to be someone who know we are leaving.
There were magic users among the Children's Rebellion, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they just, I mean, frankly, kill you in the camp?
Yes, but I just don't understand why of all times they would attack us as we leave. Not a moment before nor after, but right when we're out. Never at the camp.
Yeah, my real guess is that maybe it's not an attack of some kind. I mean, it feels so thoughtless. I don't know. Who would know to do this? Maybe someone's just summoning monsters.
We didn't even know that we were leaving with him until this morning.
You're a little quiet.
We didn't even know that we were leaving with him this morning until this morning.
Right.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
didn't really tell anyone else other than that other woman that's name I can't remember.
Yes, true. But who
Either
would
way, it is too great a coincidence. This is a nation that has not seen a monster in decades. I do not believe sudden monsters would pop out of nowhere. Just so happen to target a entourage surrounding a prince. We should keep going, expecting more uh, surprises at any time.
Yes, I will remain in this weaker form so I can keep my eyes forward looking instead of to the side.
Yes, that I noticed that was the issue last time.
Yeah.
You did not seem to notice.
Yeah.
For all of your omnipotence, you have one specific blind spot. It is very unfortunate.
Well, no, that's not true. I don't have eyes in the back of my head either. So I think that's two.
Mm.
like a hammerhead shark? Powerful, but just can't see straight.
Oh no, I don't hit things. I'm very bad at hitting things.
Mm.
More enlightened than powerful, I assume.
But can't you be like Thrios's horse, Milianos? He was pretty
No,
formidable in that combat.
no, I cannot become metal.
Oh, I mean, he just used his hooves. You weigh a
Well,
lot, I assume.
that I could do, but I can't become metal. So I
Okay,
guess in some ways we're similar, yet so different.
I agree with you.
Perhaps one day you'll be able to turn into a horse that has eyes all around its head.
Oh,
No, I think that would ruin the aesthetic.
That is a creature too formidable and terrible to imagine. I think we shall move on from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of can't stop imagining it.
yes. Even more terrifying than the scarecrows with black holes for eyes, I assure you.
I don't think I could do eyes all over, but maybe just an eye on the tail. I think that would be cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
indubitably, that would be cool.
Yes, then you would be Italian.
What's that?
It's
Yeah. What are you
It-
referencing?
it's getting dark out here, and I'm monsters. I think we should hurry towards the castle.
The Italian stallion, if you will.
What is Italia?
I have no idea.
Italian.
Are you guys having a
Well, let's
stroke?
Italia out of here.
I think in the religions practiced in Parvus, they had something with creatures with crazy eyes like that, like biblical angels sort of thing. It is very unpleasant.
Indeed, very unpleasant.
What is this word biblical?
I don't know.
Like a bibble?
Did those
Like a
did those
biblioteca,
scarecrows
like a book.
poison all of you? You guys are talking weird.
No, they were quite frightening. I must admit, maybe that is having an effect.
Yeah, they scared us so bad. Our minds are in another world.
Yes, but we are all intellectuals as well. Maybe we are just elevating ourselves to a higher plane of
Yes,
thinking.
all four of us are quite intellectuals. Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
soon we'll meet Basnick's true horse form and hear him speak in the horse body.
Yes.
Fear not. Do not be not afraid.
And the prince says, "Oh, thank you," including himself in your 4, even though to make him 5. And he says, let us hurry to the castle before the sun sets. So, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we're going to say that you saved me from the Children's Rebellion, or from
Just some very dirty, muddy brigands, I think.
Let's
for
maybe
now.
not
Yes.
point out the Children's Rebellion as enemies.
Yes, then it might be a lot harder to assure your friend's safety and get some laws abolished or changed.
That makes sense. My mind wandered for a moment, I imagine. So from some dirty brigands, yes, you all saved me. Very good. I think we have our story straight to some extent.
All right, guys. Someone else is doing talking. I'm really bad at lying, and I don't like doing it.
Mhm.
It's gonna go very badly if it has to be me.
I'm not very sure that much of us are practiced liars, but we shall do our
Oh boy, low charisma.
do our thing.
Ooh, the charisma party.
So, you all head towards the city.
Yep.
Yep.
Making my way downtown, walking
Walking
fast.
fast, faces past, and I'm homebound.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh yeah, and I had a question. I used one of my blade songs in the last fight. How many charges do I have left? It's like
You have proficiency bonus per long rest, so you have 1 more before your long rest.
thank you.
When you hit 5th level, you'll have 3 per long rest.
Okay.
So you all make it away from Scarecrow Deathland through the farmland towards the western gate of the city. And it begins to get truly dark out as you approach within a few hundred feet of the Western Gate. As you do, you hear a bugle of sorts. And you see some Queen's guards riding out from the Western Gate of the city towards you.
It
And
seems as they've already recognized us.
Yes,
It's
and
weird. The Queen's never met any of us.
the prince says, perhaps they recognized me, although his hood is down.
Quite peculiar.
Not good. Not this. I got a bad sense about that.
Me too.
Mhm.
First the
Well-
scarecrows, now this.
Well, guys, we got our asses handed to us by children. Surely we could take fully trained military if it comes down to it.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to lie, Basnik, I forgot about that tale.
Asnik, I think actually you are the only one who got your ass handed to you by children. Now that I think of it.
Well, I had used up nearly all of my energy trying to keep someone quiet, and they still managed to not be quiet.
I continue to be sorry about that, I suppose.
The spirit of Arthas reigns heavy in your mind as you imagine he's out there collecting treasure somewhere.
I
The-
hope so. He said he put me in as well.
He's probably forgotten about us by now. Look, that old guy.
The guards ride closer, and you see about 6 people in heavy armor on horseback, and they get closer, and as they do, one stands out from the rest as the leader, and he approaches your group and he says, hello, the Queen has sent us to bring you back as heroes to the throne room. She says she's heard of your heroics. Not quite sure of what that all means, but you're heroes, so welcome.
How expeditious, Captain. Thank you. We greatly appreciate any welcome to offer.
He looks confused about the vocabulary word you used, but tries to play it off. And he says, please come with us. We'll protect you and escort you as a guard of honor to the throne room for the Queen. I gather she wants to celebrate you. And so the guards start to surround you a bit and ride with you towards the Western Gate of the city.
Can I mechanically represent an emotion my character is going through?
Yes.
Can we say for the sake of this that I am preparing the dodge action for all of this?
Sure.
Great. Just kind of skittish.
That makes sense. So these the guards surround you, and you are taken in through the western gate of the city. None of you have been into the city in this game. In this campaign. You enter through the western gate, and your group turns the corner by Alliance Square, seeing some of the temples from the Temple District in the distance. And you head south past the Mage College and Library, which has asymmetrical black and white wings of marble protruding into the sky. You head south and then back north. You go past some of the guild houses and past the workshop, where you see some humans and gnomes in leather aprons closing down the workshop for the night. Big wooden screens going over the windows. And you continue north past the temple district. There is a depression in the ground where the temple of Mufinder and Fetlan has its broken columns and gives food to the poor who still are lined up near it even at this time of night. You see the temple of Tactilius and Gazul on a rise, black marble shot through with golden veins. Past the Tamerwind compound, silent, aloof, and through the chop. The guards get closer to you through the chop, as it is known for thievery. Fingerless beggars holding out clay pots in the dusty streets. Past the shipyards where some of the longshore people have finished their day's labor and are heading into the chop, perhaps to the towering mine for a pint or two before bed. North past the travelers' district where the broken plowshare and other inns are becoming lively with music as those from other lands are enjoying their evenings. Past the nobles' quarter where some have dined at House Mussover or House Dayron, whereas others have not. All the compounds of the various nobles who are not from House Tamerwin gathered together. And you arrive at the southern entrance of Castle Dagran. The castle walls have a very large iron portcullis that is raised in a stone archway in preparation for your arrival. Many of the Queen's guards greet your group as if they are expecting you. In fact, as you get to around this part by the nobles' quarter, you hear a few trumpets and you see a few commoners clapping as you go by. This is you're being greeted as heroes somehow. And you get to the southern gate and are ushered through into the keep of Castle Dagran. Long gray stone hallways, functional, defensible, yet beautiful. Here and there, niches contain porcelain vases and gold trinkets. Eventually, you arrive at the throne room. Well, the waiting room outside the throne room, a rather Baroque affair with various chairs and marble pedestal with a little statue on it, a cracked window. Very overly decorated. This appears to be where foreign diplomats might wait before entering the throne room, and the guards usher you in, and the lead guard that was with you says, the Queen will be with you in a moment. And before long, the doors to the throne room open, and you are ushered inside. The throne room feels like a cathedral of sorts. It has stained glass all along the back wall, a very large open space, and on the throne sits Queen Aoife Coyle. She looks different ages, depending on how the light falls on her. Sometimes 30, sometimes 40, sometimes 50. She has a distracted air about her, a bit aloof and disconnected. This blonde hair and white diaphanous garb, and she stares into the space above your head and speaks. Loyal subjects, thank you for returning the prince.
No
Of course,
problem at all,
of
my
course,
lady.
my lady. It was a difficult journey. I'm sure you are wondering what happened to those you gave this quest in the first place. Many complications were met along the road, but here he is, safe and sound.
Yes, there is something strange and portentous about this new group. I had sent Luce and Cyrus and Luna, Eva, Biggs. None of them returned. But instead, there are you four, and you have completed what they began. This means something to me. Yes. Thank you. And then she sort of looks above the prince's head and says, "Welcome home, son. I'm glad you're safe. I was worried about you." And the prince says, "Thank you, mother. These people all saved me. I was kidnapped, and they came to my rescue. The original people that you sent, they were killed or otherwise dispatched, and these people stepped in and saved me from dirty brigands." And he makes a roll on the he makes a deception roll.
I mean, they were pretty dirty.
Yeah.
It's no
Can
lie.
one of us give him the
Very
help
dirty.
action or something?
I was gonna ask if I could have cast guidance on him.
If you can touch him, but the queen is gonna see you doing something. But
I'm gonna pat him on the back, and say it's okay. I know it was traumatic.
There are actual components to it, though, I think, that she'll notice.
Just like
she'll,
he's glowing.
she'll see
Is
that
there-
you're
oh.
casting something,
Oh,
but
it is verbal. Never mind. If it's verbal, I won't do anything then.
it's a it's either a 9 or a 13. And the queen, dirty brigands. How did they manage to pluck you out of the window of your bedroom, son? Will anyone step in to help him, or will he answer?
I have no idea what happened that night.
Me too. Like
Don't need none of us
I-
know.
no. Can I roll, I guess, like persuasion to tell her like that he's kind of still shaken and maybe questions right now would not be something he could answer?
That sounds good. He says "Yes, mother. The dirty brigands used ropes to swing in through my window and capture me off of my bed and swing away over the castle walls." And his mother says, That is a daring piece of doing, and I wonder how they made it past all of our guards, son. Wow, Kaz rolled a 1. Good to know. So you step in and you're like, he's very shaken. He can't answer any questions right now. And the queen is like, my son can speak for himself. Finn.
Yes, my lady. My apologies.
And so Finn says this thing about people swinging around, and the queen says this is very puzzling because there are so many guards on the castle walls. And will anyone
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Oh,
Let's
I've
go.
been sitting here thinking. All right.
Right.
Peter, the
Oh.
horse is here.
Listen here, kid. You might as well come clean that you were you went out to see this little girl that you wanted to go hang out with your friend, and you know some things happened, and then you got intertwined with these ruffians, all because you wanted to go see this girl. It's kind of the truth, the half truth.
There is truth to that tale.
Yes, yes. I suppose I should come clean and tell the honest truth, mother. I had a lover.
No, that's not what I meant. But you know what? Go for it, 12-year-old boy.
Wait, how old is he?
He's
16?
Oh.
He
Same
says,
thing.
I had a lover. It was a passionate affair. I snuck out to see her, and we were set upon by dirty brigands. And I'm going to make him roll for deception again.
Can Basnick help?
Did I give him advantage with the story?
Man.
Or like
He rolled a 1. The first roll was a 1.
can
And
I
the
use
second
my
roll is a
inspiration
3.
for him?
No. The first roll is a 1 and the second roll is a 3.
Oh my God.
And Queen Aoife is like Queen
I
Aoife's
knew I
like,
should have kept enhanceability.
The one time you rolled terribly, DM.
Yeah.
son, something seems off about your story. Maybe one of these other people can tell us the truth. Was this your lover? She points at Crash.
Let's go.
Scandalous.
I'm gonna roll to see if Crash has a full panic attack.
He's a cat.
Okay. Crash says, Crash,
Crash is the lover and Trios is the child.
I
stop.
am his lover's mother. I have come to protect your son. And we brought him here safely.
And
I-
the queen says, "Oh, who is his lover then?
My daughter.
A tabaxi? You're
Uh-huh.
a younger tabaxi?
Yes. I
What is-
moved out here a
What
long
is her
time ago.
name?
Her name
What is name?
is Fiona.
All right, roll
We're all
deception.
getting murdered.
Yeah.
Roll deception.
Okay.
Guys, it just keeps getting worse and worse and
I
worse.
am
Her
so
name is Toth.
scared in and out of character. I have a +1. Okay, 16.
That's the best roll of the night.
I'm doing great.
Queen says, "Finally, some truth." And then she looks at you, Crash, and she says, "Do you have designs on our kingdom, setting up your daughter with my son?"
No, it was illicit affair. My daughter is wildly. She she wanted it wasn't she's not a noble. She's not a noble. So the ruffians were folk she sent after him so that they could be together in private. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were set upon by ruffians and then you saved them. But now you say that the daughter set the ruffians upon them?
So no. So this is actually all consistent. So hold on. What they said was that they were beset upon by ruffians. So my daughter um uh uh has a group of ruffians that she beset upon her
It was
lover.
more of an escort, really.
Yes.
Yes.
A intense escort for a passionate secret affair between a noble and a commoner. And we worked things out. And I have come by the will of my daughter to bring your son home safely.
The queen says, this is a messy story indeed. Prince Finn, you were kidnapped and attacked after you set out with your lover and her band of ruffians? And the prince says, yes, mother. And the queen looks at you all and she says, and you all saved my son from these ruffians.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we more
we did.
negotiated that he had to come home.
A negotiating saving.
Yes.
Please, each of you, tell me the part that you had in saving my son. And she points at Drios and she says, you, tiny sir, how did you help save my son?
Yes, well, when we first came upon this camp of ruffians, we of course did not know if they meant the Prince Harvey or not. I was more of a forward scout upon the camp. As you might expect, I can move around fairly quietly and unnoticed but in dark places. That was my role, really.
Does this camp of ruffians still exist?
I do not know if they still reside in the same location. They seemed fairly, I wouldn't say nomadic, but they moved around quite a bit, and it did not seem as if it was a permanent encampment. I'm assuming they have stuck together, but whether or not it is in the same spot, I cannot say.
Well, I hope that some sort of justice was meted out on this camp of nomadic ruffians that kidnapped my son while he was in the throes of romance with a commoner. And she looks at Prince Finn and says, son, this was very stupid. And then she looks at you, Crash, and she says, so, mother of Finn's lover, what part did you play in freeing him from this camp of nomadic ruffians?
Right. So I was more the negotiator. I'm here in the interest of my daughter. I'm here because I feel that it is what she wanted was for Finn to be safe, and I'm blanking. My character is blanking. I feel that. Yeah, I'm a negotiator.
All right, so Drios roll persuasion and Crash roll deception.
Okay. Oh.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
I don't think I have inspiration.
Better.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
Well, she believes you, Drios, but Crash,
Crumbling.
yeah, she she looks above your head and she looks skeptical to say the least. And she says, I don't know why I'm only getting parts of the story. I don't understand what's happening here. And she looks over at the nobleman, the gleaming nobleman, and says, perhaps there is a voice of reason here who could tell me why it seems like some of you are lying to me. Sir?
Yes, my liege. I do apologize about this. Crash must be just very nervous as the mother of your son's lover. She must just be very shaken, not sure on your opinion and your feelings about this matter. I apologize on her behalf. I was once a father, so I also know a bit about this type of nervousness and worry that you must have went through. I do apologize. I was more the funds of the operation. Crash was the negotiator, but her and her daughter being commoners, they did not have any wealth to really negotiate with. And that's where I came in. I'm just a simple nobleman with a big heart, especially with matters of the kingdom and family. I was merely just the coin purse of this operation.
How much did you spend?
Well, I actually only had to really spend one gold coin, and Kaz will take out a gold coin and hold in his hand and spend one level one spell slot for distort value to make it seem as if he is holding like 15 gold coins in his hand.
Oh my.
Yes, they are not the most intellectual of ruffians, as you can most likely expect from wandering nomadic beings.
All right, roll persuasion with advantage, Kaz.
Okay. Wait.
Hey!
Let's go. I saw the 5 and I got worried. Yes,
So,
and
so
I had
not
no
roll, but
major part.
15. And raise your hand. Raise your hand if you have inspiration right now.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well spent, well spent.
All right. So the queen looks above your head, Kaz, and says, "Yes, it's becoming clear now. Yes. So, Kaz, your name is Kaz?
Yes, short for Cazador, madam, whichever you prefer.
Ah, please tell me the story from beginning to end, Kaz. make these pieces make sense.
Well, yes. You see, I was just on my way, just walking down the streets, when all of a sudden a feline commoner comes up to me and tells me this sob story about a mistake that her daughter had done with some boy, and that this boy was of great importance. And me being he kind of hesitates for a moment as he says, a widow father. I had very great sympathy for her, so without even thinking, I went along with her and was prepared to help her in this other feline with whatever troubles they besought. And come to find out, there was a camp filled with bandits, and I am not the most influential person with words, but I do have money, so we complemented each other with this, and with my... I'm not sure what Trios did. He was very, very good at whatever he did. I did not see, and I did not ask. But one thing led to another. We were negotiating. Crash was negotiating. We got your son back, and the bandits, they never even realized that they only got 1 gold coin until we were far enough away to make our escape.
She looks at Finn and she says, "Is all this true, son?" And he says, "Yes, mother."
No way.
Bring it home, Finn. You got
did it.
this.
He rolled a 5.
Oh.
And the queen says, "There's something you're not telling me, son. What is it?" And the prince says, "Ah, I've been telling you the truth, mother. I snuck out of the castle so I could be with my feline lover, and we were set upon by dirty brigands, brought to a camp where I was held captive, and next I knew, there was a man trading gold via the negotiations of my feline lover's mother, and I was freed."
Frankly, I do not understand why this is so hard to believe. This is word for word.
This is the most bullshit story I've ever fucking heard. For this is outrageous.
We're
And
building our lives upon a throne of lies.
Yeah.
the queen says, "You're not telling me the truth, son." And then she looks at Basnik again and says, "What is my son not telling me?"
Oh God, what do I even do here? This is such a mess. All right. What he's not telling you is that his lover was not a cat. She was adopted. And she's older than him. That's all I got, guys.
All right, roll deception.
No.
That's not a lie, though. She is older and she's not a cat.
All right, roll persuasion.
God.
You got this. Use your horse powers.
Oh, God.
It's a well-known fact that
Oh, there we
horses are
go.
very persuasive.
Yes.
And it's not bad.
Good. That's very good.
Oh, you have a +3. That's good.
Yeah,
That's great.
I when I took my feat, I gave myself a proficiency in persuasion.
Good.
After that debacle on the bar.
Yeah.
First.
That's literally the only reason why.
And the queen says, "Ah, I see. Son, you were embarrassed that your lover was older than you. I see why you would want to hide that from me." And then he looks over at she looks over at Crash and she says, "So you are the mother of his older lover who is adopted?"
So I feel like, to be clear, Crash fully flinches every time she looks over at her. She's like, right. So I am the adoptive mother of my daughter, who is your son, the prince's lover.
Was
My
older.
daughter is adopted. She's 20. Yes, the prince seemed embarrassed about that, so I didn't want to share it.
Okay, roll deception.
Okay.
Roll well or
I
face
will.
destruction.
Okay.
Hey!
Yay.
We did it, guys.
Amazing.
I don't have
Flawless.
I don't have to break out the dungeons. That's great.
The dungeons. We're gonna find out she really does sacrifice people the hard way.
She said she looks at all of you and she says, "Ah, yes, it's all starting to make sense. My son was only lying about the species of his lover. And her name is Fiona. Well, son, I would like you to stay away from this commoner lover. As you can see, a lot of trouble has come from this affair of yours." And the prince is like, "Of course, mother, I shall never see her again. For you, for the crown, for our kingdom, I shall make this sacrifice."
Can I see if she believes us?
Yeah, let's resolve this conversation. It's almost resolved.
Okay.
So he says that and she's like, "I see Valentis has taught you a lot about leadership and the sacrifices one must make." Have any of you heard of Valentis before? Maybe
Is
even
he
the other
Who's
campaign.
that?
Yeah. She says, as Valentis has taught you a lot. And then she looks over at Drios. She looks at Drios and then she looks at Baznik and she says, "Well, before I bring in all of your rewards, I just want to understand, you, Drios, how did your sneaking contribute to my son going free? And you, Baznik, what did you do that helped him get free?"
Of course, Your Majesty. I was merely trying to ascertain whether or not your son was in any real danger. Of course, if they were harming him or um, putting him in any real discomfort, things would have gotten violent quite quickly. But uh, as he was captive, but he was not injured, I figured it would be best if we pursued diplomacy.
As for as you can probably tell, I am a horse. So I was the noble steed that Kaz rode in, and I was the noble steed that your son rode out on.
Okay, I'm not gonna make Drios because
No.
he told the truth, but Baznik, you're gonna roll one more
He
persuasion.
was the steed
I
in
was,
and out.
I was
He
a
was.
horse going in and out.
But you said that he rode out on, and
Ah.
that Drios rode in on, and that the prince rode out on, and That's not true. So you'd have to roll deception.
Oh, God.
If you roll well, we'll escape this.
Hey, it's
little
okay. I got
crisis.
inspiration in the bank. I
Yeah.
don't need it, baby. Yeah.
No,
Pop it off.
donkey.
Queen says, thank you, Drios, for scouting my son's rescue. Thank you, Kaz, for paying for my son's rescue. Thank you, Baznik, for riding to my son's rescue. That's amazing. You're a horse. You're a horse. Wow. And
I could barely believe it a week ago myself.
and Crash, I can only imagine a mother's fear and a mother's sorrow. And thank you for working together, all of you, to free Prince Finn. And Baznik, you may now roll to see if she believes you.
If I could add one more roll to that. What is she looking at above our heads? Because she
Yeah.
just-
I was
My
gonna ask to roll for
insight
that too.
is an 11.
Well, she's got other people, she's got some servants and such around her, and it appears that you've told a convincing enough story that others might buy her believing you. And she appears to believe you. And you can roll insight regarding her weird behavior as well if you like. You said, what is she looking at?
Can I also?
Yeah, why don't we have Drios make this roll?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I only have a +1. I thought I had higher, but never mind.
Wise Dome.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Oh, snap.
Hey.
You can see into her soul.
I'm a people person.
Drios, something about the queen's demeanor indicates that this entire conversation has been fake.
Like, she's not really listening to us, or like, we're not speaking to the queen, or
Like a puppet?
she it's more about her believing your story is more about her believing that the servants and guards in the room will believe that she believed the story. And something is definitely off about her. She appears to be thinking about other things, and she doesn't really seem concerned about her son. There's like a certain amount of performance to her actions, and also a distraction and an uncaring.
does she look like she's working the overtime and making sure our story seems believable to her servants?
Yeah, it's more about it being plausible that she would believe what you're telling.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
So with that, she says, very well, bring in the rewards. And she says, you will each be rewarded in proportion to your service to freeing my son from these dirty brigands who are nomadic and cannot be found. And a big chest is brought in, and it's being carried on sticks by some servants, and it's put down, and the chest is thrown open, and there are sacks of gold in it, and each of you gets a bag of 600 gold pieces tossed at your feet.
Dang.
And as this is happening, the prince says, Mother, after all the danger I experienced, the terror I felt at the hands of the brigands, these people felt like my protectors, my bodyguards. They fought for me where others might not. I was wondering if, considering the dangers in the kingdom, if they could perchance stay here as my bodyguards to protect me. And he rolled a 5, and the queen on persuading her, and the queen says, we will see, my son. We will see. I, for one, believe that all 4 of these heroes should be celebrated. And that is why tomorrow morning we're going to have a brunch ball to celebrate you. I will have all the nobles brought who are part of the court, and we will celebrate your heroism in bringing home my son from these brigands. Please, stay here in the castle tonight as heroes. We have special rooms for you that I think you will love, and in the morning, the entire court will celebrate your heroism at the brunch ball. Please allow us to thank you in this way, heroes. And then she motions and says, show them to the rooms.
Can Kaz make a request to the queen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kaz would speak up when the gold is thrown at his feet, and he would say, my liege, if I may request, you may keep the gold if you wish, but the thing that I really want is some resources for helping me find some people. I mentioned earlier that I'm a widowed father. That is due to a reason, and I wish to find the ones that are responsible for this reason above all else. If you may permit me, you may keep the gold if you wish, but that is all I seek.
And then the queen sort of stops with her arm in the air about, take them to the rooms. And she looks at you and she says, how may I help? How could I help you?
Well, if you have anyone who specializes in investigating or information or anyone of that manner who can help me track down and find out who robbed me of my family, that I would be most appreciated.
And she says, well, when I needed my kidnapped son returned, I sent the group that has become you. Perhaps you are the best investigators we have. But if there is information that you want, you let me know, and we will retrieve it for you.
Thank you, my liege. My eternal gratitude.
And she goes, show them to their rooms. And let me know how you all are responding to that.
I
1 moment, please. Now you go up to Kaz. Hey, Kaz, did you used to live in the city?
why yes, I did indeed.
Ah, wonderful. Do you know any tailors around? Because if there's going to be a feast, I cannot show up in these rags. I need to have something prepared.
Are you whispering?
What's wrong with rags?
Yes, I do, but I doubt they would be of quality on par of actual royalty.
Do
They
you
must
do you
have
whisper it, Drios?
I don't whisper it,
Okay.
Yeah.
but Brios is a little embarrassed because he's got his nice clothes, but they're all ruined.
So the queen raises her voice as you all are leaving the room, and she says, none of you are equipped for a brunch ball, so our royal tailor will visit you this evening to take your measurements. Let us celebrate the heroes who have brought home my son. And there's light clapping from the servants and guards that are in the room.
Is
Never mind them.
Kaz would look down at Drios. Well, that solves that problem. I'm glad you got some real exquisite help. I doubt anything I could offer would come close to royalty such as this.
This time I am gonna drop down to whisper, like, yes, but there goes my opportunity to gather some information about anything in the city. But oh well, next time.
Kaz would look down just as all that like went right over his head. He looks down super disappointed. He didn't catch none of that. He nods his
Okay.
head slowly.
It's a lot of distance to travel from my mouth to your ears.
It is. Kaz would pick up the gold and he would go over to Crash and Vaznik, just like pat him on the back, and then walk with Drios wherever he's going to go.
So if you all allow yourself to be led towards your rooms, I will tell you that you find yourselves not walking in the hallways for too long, as you go behind the throne room to the place of royal residences and towards the place where visiting diplomats might stay within the keep. And as you walk down the hallway, Valentis appears and joins the prince. Who is Valentis, some of you ask? Well, allow me to show you a picture of Valentis. He is an older fellow. He limps a little bit, but there's something ramrod straight about his back, and there's a certain muscularity underneath his feeble frame. As he sees the prince, his face really lights up, and he and the prince hug each other. And Valentis says, as you all continue walking towards your rooms, my boy, I was very worried indeed. And Prince Finn says, worry not, I am not harmed, Valentis. And Valentis looks at you all as you continue walking towards your rooms, and he says, these people saved you? The prince says, yes, indeed. I trust them. I would trust them. And Valentis says, "Ah, good." And as he finishes saying that, you all arrive at this hallway. It has 6 rooms adjoining it, 3 on either side. Each of the 3 rooms are bedrooms, and each bedroom is similarly appointed with thick posted 4-poster wooden beds. And there's a red carpet running down the middle of the floor, dark wood everywhere, and it's rather opulent, moderately opulent. It looks like an area where visiting diplomats might stay. And so there are 6 bedrooms adjoining this hallway. And as you make it into this hallway, Valentis limps across to the other end of the hall and checks the door there and locks it, and waves at the prince, who checks the door behind you all and locks it, and he motions the guards away. And at that point, it is you 6, Valentis and the prince, and you 4 in this hallway with your rooms. And then Valentis limps over to you all and says, what happened? And the prince immediately launches into the honest story of what happened.
Oh, really?
As he does that, I am gonna scan every inch of this room to see if there's
doing that too. I'm checking. I'm going to the doors if I can hear
sort of
anyone.
bugging going on around here,
Yeah.
arcane or mundane or anything.
Arcane or mundane.
How about one of you give me an arcana and one of you give me an investigation?
I think I'll go ahead and do Arcana.
I'll do investigate. Or Basnik, did you want to do it?
I'm dog at both those.
You can do perception. You can do perception,
I
Basnik.
can do perception. That I can do.
Nah, it's not great.
Oh. Can I do investigation? Oh.
30-20.
Yeah, Bosnick, from your checking the rooms and looking for little holes that people are going to listen through, and physical signs of intrusions, you find none. Drios, you also find no magical intrusions, but you rolled a 9, so
looks all good to me.
Were you were asking for something, Kaz?
If I used detect magic while I was doing that, would that help? I just realized I have that prepared.
Oh, dang.
Do you want to, if you want to ritual cast it, it'll take 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Snap.
So you start mumbling 10 minutes.
Just in the background.
Well,
hamburger cheeseburger.
Just,
hamburger cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to do an investigation, but I think whoever Basnik found was probably what I was going to find.
The prince continues his honest tale to Valentis as you chant, and the prince unspools the whole tale, including his mother taking a prisoner into the catacombs, tying the prisoner to a metal bed and lifting a ritual dagger over him before the prince made a noise and ran away. And the prince shares all of this information with Valentis, and Valentis stands with mouth agape and then looks at you all and says, "Well, I believe some introduction is in order. I am Valentis. I have been the prince's tutor for the past 8 years, since before he was the prince and since before the queen was the queen. I hope you will consider me an ally in this, because this is a very upsetting story I hear from Prince Finn, and my loyalty is to the realm above all, the safety of the kingdom."
there any hint of like recognition, especially when he was talking about the prince was talking about
Are you super quiet?
sacrifice? Shit, I keep moving away from my mic. Was there any hint in recognition of his face when the prince was talking about the sacrifice?
Roll insight.
I love wisdom characters. Oh well, never mind.
+7. Shit.
I got max wisdom right now.
He's wise as shit.
He appears to be very surprised by this. He looks at you all and says, before she was queen, Aoife was a nice woman, a talkative and friendly woman, and she has been different in recent years. This is indicative of something being wrong. He looks at Prince Finn and he says, we need proof. And Finn says, I know, the metal bed with blood under it, I'm sure there's proof in the catacombs, but I don't dare go there myself. And he like looks over at you meaningfully. Maybe my that is what we're back for, is to gather evidence. Perhaps the catacombs are our next step. And Valentis says, but I do hear that there's a ball in your honor tomorrow morning. And the prince says, yes, I don't understand really. I mean, I guess it's normal court custom for such a thing to take place when a kidnapped prince is returned, but then my mother wanted my being missing to remain a secret, so I don't quite know, but yes, there's a brunch ball tomorrow. And Valentis says, well, I'm sure there's not time to explore the catacombs this evening before the ball. And as he says that, there's a knock on the door.
King Kaz.
How far through my ritual am I?
You finished.
Nice.
You want to run around and throw your aura all over everything? See if you notice.
Yeah, go ahead and just spread my aura all over everything.
Just run into every room and I'm gonna get everything within 30 feet of me. See if anything glows. Everything's kosher. There's no magical devices or magical things around anything except for the stuff you all are carrying.
Nice.
Suspicious.
So the always suspicious. Yeah, so there's this knock at the door and the prince and Valentis look at it, and the prince walks over to the door and opens it. And in the hallway, you see a person. The most hideous person. They are deformed in some way. They have a bug eye in some way. They have all sorts of things happening in the facial area. And the prince opens the door and says, Moyle, please come in. And the person sort of hobbles in and says, oh, I heard you all needed some clothing.
Oh, he's yeah. Kaz would look over at Drios and just like wink at him. Well, there you go, my good friend. You are in capable hands.
I'm gonna like immediately kind of, I think I've been very loosely holding my bag of gold like this, and I kind of walk over to him and I'm like, hey, you're the only normal person here. Take this. And I hand him all of my gold.
Snap.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm paid very well as the royal tailor.
Right.
Garments are free.
Listen, I can't have this money.
I can hold on to it if
You
you don't
want?
want
Okay,
it.
yeah. Take. You
we-
guys are my direct allies, so that is fair.
Okay.
We literally passed by some fingerless commoners earlier.
We
Don't
aren't
you think we
currently
could-
near them. Look, my goal right now is to get this money away from me. So if you guys want it, have it.
Okay. Rios, would you do the honors?
Of course.
I know it's a heavy burden to bear, but
Yes,
I
it
have
is
confidence in you.
fairly heavy. This is quite a bit of gold. I
It is.
think
Do y'all
I
want
am going to be
200
changing
gold each?
some of my infusions tonight.
You want 200 gold each, or is Basnik not asking for any?
Nah,
200
Basnic's happy with the 600.
300
Nice.
gold
For what
each.
purpose does a horse need gold?
So Moyle is like, I appreciate it, but I'm the highest paid tailor in the land.
Right. Okay. You're a freak too. You're a noble. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I got it.
Crash!
Sorry. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Fine. We're fine.
I apologize for my
I'll
friend.
still give you money if you don't tell anyone I said that.
A freak?
No. Not
That's
like
rude.
in a noble context. I'm a commoner mother of a person, and I have never interacted with nobles on this level before. I'm sorry.
Now you're gonna act like our friend Kaz is not right there.
Look, Kaz, I don't say a lot, okay?
It's okay. I actually catched your drift in the very first moment you were talking to the prince himself. I understood, and I did not say a word. That is why
yes,
I did not
yes,
say nothing
yes,
until
too.
now.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't have to worry. I completely understand you. As a noble, I know nobles, so I cannot blame you.
So Moyle looks at each of you and says, if you give me a proper description, I'll make you anything you want to wear to the ball. I'll make it tonight, and I'll bring it in the morning.
I mean,
Rios?
do I
he
actually
works
have to get
third
it? I'm
shift.
not a fashion dude. Like,
You could just describe the tuxedos.
it's a nice Rocinante fashion coat and overcoat, and then blouse underneath and trousers. I don't know.
So yeah, Moyle is just like, you want the same thing you're wearing? Well, you can
It
have
is
a golden hat if you want. But all right.
I do not want to make the other nobilities jealous, if you understand. Just some fine embroidery, silver thread, blue,
Silver thread.
yes, a blue overcoat. Make it beautiful, but not quite so ostentatious as you might feel inclined to do.
Oh, I just take instructions. Okay.
It's just
Quiet wealth for you.
keep it,
Very good.
keep it nice.
Blue overcoat, silver thread. Yes, very good. Okay, who else? Who else? Anything your heart desires for clothing.
I would recommend you guys at least get one suit of clothes in a environment like this. Paradoxically, if you do not wish to stand out, then you are gonna have to get something quite nice.
Absolutely, dear Rios. This is a matter I know too well. You can't stick out too much. I wish to have a a black overcoat with gold thread, just whatever the other nobles usually wear. I just want to blend in with the crowd, if you would not mind.
And Moyle says, "All right, sounds good. Nothing too unusual for you." Aye. And then they look at Basnik and say, "What do you want?"
I'll take the same thing Drios has.
"I suppose you want it in your size, eh?"
Yes.
I would recommend you also get some boots for yourself too. I did not ask for boots.
Yeah, looking over at Drios, you realize that you're gonna look like a medium-sized Puss in Boots if you dress like.
Yeah, like I got the big hat with the feather and everything.
Well, Drios seems to know what he's doing. So yeah, whatever he says.
All right, and then Moyle looks at Crash.
Like,
What would you like?
all right. Yeah. Okay. Do any of you know what I should wear at all?
No, that's why I copied Drios. Just
Right,
copy
okay.
Drios.
I mean, just
Oh,
Just copy Drios.
a dress if you like. I'm sure some people like pantsuits. You can get a pantsuit as well. I do. I don't.
I'm gonna roll.
And
Yes.
Moyle says, "Anything you can imagine, anything you want, I'll make it tonight with my team of sewers."
Okay. I guess she wants a. She just says, "Give me a dress that makes me look like, um, a very like a princess, but from a very poor country." Yeah, that makes sense. Cause like that's what noble people look like, but it's not because it's like meant to represent me, right? That's what clothes are.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, do that.
What color?
Uh 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 um why? Yeah,
A symbol of purity. Good choice.
thanks.
Moyle looks puzzled by all of your requests and leaves and says, "See you in the morning. I'll make it all for you." And they walk around and like measure you with the little measuring tape thing, and then they leave. Like a not a tape, but a cloth measuring tape. And they
Yardstick.
go on. Zip. Leaving the prince and Valentis and you all alone once more.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, Kaz would say to the prince right when he leaves, and he knows that they're alone. You would say to the prince, "My liege, if you want, do you think a phrase of just a phrase would be a good idea in case if your mother is around or someone you do not trust and you feel as though you want one of us to step in or tell us you're in danger without actually telling us that you are in danger."
Yes,
Do you
like a
think?
word to keep you safe. A
Yes.
safe word.
Yeah,
Right.
a safe word, yes.
The prince says, ah, yes, the ocean is dry. I'll just say that to myself if I feel scared, and you'll hear me. So the
Mhm.
ocean is dry, and then you can save me.
Mhm.
Okay, yes. A little bit out of pocket, but it will work. I like it.
Well, it's better than what I thought of.
Uh, And so the prince and Valentis talk a little bit more about they talk a little bit more about each other about this potential danger to the kingdom, and Valentis. You hear them talking, and it sounds like Valentis is the prince's teacher, and it sounds like he's told him a lot about politics. And eventually Valentis looks at you all and the prince and says, if the queen is in fact evil, if she is killing people, we will need a different monarch, and that is a difficult thing to accomplish in this land. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the War of Succession, which took place only 6 years ago, when Queen Aoife rose to power after the sickness of King Maldonado. Queen Aoife won that war by lopping off the head of the high seat of House Dryston. And Lady Peel Kilshaw, her other rival, fled to the west of Parvus, where she's been building an army for the past 6 years. The only remnant of the Kilshaw family is the Queen's fixer, Aloysius Kilshaw, who is a bit of a sycophant. Of course, there is the Keystrom branch of the Kilshaw family, but they are of no import. The point being, the reason I'm saying this is because another war could easily ensue if there is a power vacuum upon the Queen's removal. So we will need to make sure that the nobility of the land trusts your influence if you four are to support the prince, and that they trust the prince.
Yes, if you don't mind me asking, the queen herself did not seem entirely well either when she was speaking to us. I do not know if any of you noticed, but she seemed not to look at us directly. And I'm fairly certain that she knew that we were all speaking bullshit. Is there like a specific time when she seems to have started acting this way, or has she always been this way?
And Valenta says, I hadn't really noticed anything. Well, everyone calls her Good Queen Aoife, and she has seemed good. But now that the prince has shared the story about what he saw, I must admit she has seemed distracted of late, but I did not. She's Good Queen Aoife.
You know roughly when that started?
She became quieter once she took the throne, but I thought it was because of her position of power. She was much more friendly before. I thought she simply could not be friendly with a lowly tutor. And there's something about Valentis's interpretation of this that's almost a little like he's experiencing deja vu, or he's kind of confused by it. Conversation. And
if only I had a restoration of some
You
sort.
have detect magic up still. Do you pick up anything on that?
In the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't have any magic coming off him.
Hmm.
But he just seems confused when you're asking him about her behavior and of late, and the thing that the thing that seems to make sense to him is he comes back to, but she's good Queen Aoife. It makes no sense. But
Yes,
Right.
good
Uh,
Queen Aoife,
and he
as you
looks
say.
the prince and he says, if she is doing these things, she must be replaced. But we need proof. Uh, ah, ah, you made me lose my train of thought. Yes, what I wanted to say is, if there is not to be chaos and a power vacuum, we must, you all, representing the prince and myself, must gain as much influence as we can with the noble houses. And interestingly, the queen has set up a situation that is perfect for exactly that pursuit. This brunch ball tomorrow. If you all are able to connect with the representatives of the major noble houses, develop relationships, perhaps seed some sense of doubt, so that if the queen does need to be replaced, they may be on our side.
What was the house that was exiled to Parvus? What was it called again?
Kilshaw.
Kilshaw. Is there any chance that a representative of Kilshaw will be there? Or are they excommunicado?
He says, oh, Aloysius Kilshaw will definitely be there. He's the queen's fixer. He's her right hand. It may be that it was the best political move for him to ally himself with the queen as tightly as possible, but he is a sycophant of the queen, to say the least. And he says, as I mentioned, the queen, at the end of the War of Succession, Aoife cut off the head of the high seat of House Dryston, and one of the members of the Dryston family, the current high seat, Imran, she'll be present as well. The brunch ball. And the prince says, yes, I believe that the four of you, if you venture into the catacombs, perhaps you could find evidence that we could use to prove to the nobles that the queen is evil, that my mother is doing something. But it is an excellent opportunity, and I'll help you as much as possible at the brunch ball tomorrow. And perhaps if you four put forth our cause, if you four convince the nobles that your thoughts are worth listening to, and therefore mine are, perhaps if we need to replace my mother, we can maintain order in the kingdom. And Valentis nods, and he looks very in support of the prince. And the two of them appear as if they're going to be starting to leave soon to get some rest and such.
As would let out a yawn and look at the others. Do you suppose we have some time to rest, or is there anything you all need me for?
I think it is best that we rest. Before I do so, I do need to do some work real quick, and I'm gonna be summoning Bella, and I'm gonna take the little teardrop sapphire that acts as her arcane core out of her, and I'm gonna be pull out this velvet bag from the inside of my shirt, and I'm gonna start working on, defusing Bella and infusing my bag of holding.
Okay.
We should all get some rest. We're having mimosas tomorrow.
You a big drinker, Basnik?
No, I
I
just like
thought
orange juice.
horses only drink water.
I like orange juice
Oh.
a lot.
Mm,
Wow.
I learn new things about horses every day.
Yes, I assumed they primarily liked apples, but I suppose I was wrong.
What's the difference between apples and oranges, really?
A lot.
I think I would
Mhm.
know. I'm a horse.
Mm,
Yes,
of course.
I gotta side with Basnik on this one.
Yes. What the fool I was.
The Prince and
I
Valentis
forgot
leave,
who I was speaking to.
Prince and Valentis leave as you discuss these things, and Prince says, I'll see you at the brunch ball. Thank you so much again. Good
I'll
night."
see you, My Highness.
They both leave.
Goodbye.
As you two talk, and as you group talk, and Drios messes around with his gadgets, and soon it will be time for a long rest. Feel free to discuss apples and oranges as you will.
Guys, I think the prince is a worse liar than all of us.
I don't know. I felt bad about that.
I
We
thought
didn't
we were
really
going
make
to
it
die.
easy. I did too. That was
Luis,
Yeah.
Luis certainly should have prepared. Of course, his mother would have wanted to know what happened to him.
well, how could we
Yes.
know that?
Yeah,
That
I
is
mean,
true. That is very true. We are new, not the people she sent.
it is frightening to me that she wanted to have a clean story for the sake of it. It really didn't seem like she cared what it was.
Yeah.
Did you notice something odd with the tutor, how he was acting?
With
I
the yes.
I did. I just noticed he would always default to saying the good queen. Like after he was confused, he would just default to saying that. I
Uh,
did find that suspicious, but
you know,
I don't know.
if I remember correctly, this is sort of outside my realm, but I think Crash acted in a similar way when we infiltrated the children's rebellion camp. I'm wondering if perhaps
Mass
Well,
influence or something? Oh, I think we lost Trio.
I think Trios is out.
Oh no.
oh, I thought he was just staring.
Yeah.
He's just giving a really intense stare.
Yeah. He was so getting into character. He's just like, "Mm."
Well, nonetheless, he put forward the idea.
Mhm.
If anyone wishes to discuss it in his absence, I
Mm.
was going to suggest a 5-minute break. Maybe we
Oh,
take the break now while he's getting his technology figured out.
All
that'd
right,
be cool.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All
There
right,
he goes, RIP.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back. Yeah, let's take a 8-minute break. So we'll be back at 10 of the hour.
All right.
All right, we back.
Woohoo.
So y'all are alone in the hallway,
Mhm.
potentially preparing for a long rest. You can let me know if you go to bed or if you do anything else, or if you staying up all night talking. All good.
once I finish that infusion, I am going to bed.
All right.
Kaz would look at everyone and just ask, uh, would any of you mind it if in my own room I do a blade song before I sleep? I just wanted to ask you in case if the walls were too thin. I don't think they will be, but it just for my own peace of mind.
I
I don't
mean,
even know what that means, so go ahead.
how Yeah, how disruptive is that?
I don't
Is it
know.
loud?
No, it shouldn't be, but I I don't want to wake up in the morning and see anyone with bags under their eyes complaining to me.
Uh,
It
Sleep like a
relaxes
horse.
me.
I'd be fine, yeah.
yeah, you go for it, my friend.
Thank you all so much. Means a lot to me. Kaz would go off to his room pretty fast, close the door and do the Blade song before he goes to sleep.
Just hear like heavy metal, like in the room next to him. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
What does that look like? What does that sound like?
Right, so when he gets into the room, he would immediately unsheath his rapier and just do repetitive kind of like river dance kind of movements and kind of like a circle flowing motion. The song itself from the blade would sound very very tranquil, very um almost like someone lightly humming in a kind of monotone
Did you say
noise.
river dance or ribbon dance?
River, river.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like it's like a ribbon dance, but without the ribbon.
Yeah, he's just waving his rapier. Yeah, yeah. And he would do that until the blade song you got it. Until the blade song just dissipates after the minute, and then he would just go to sleep, feeling relaxed and calm.
Better practice.
Yep.
Basnik, you doing anything before you go to bed?
Nope. Asnik is dreaming about what spells to prepare for tomorrow right now.
Hey, Basnik, do you sleep standing up?
Fast Nick tipping.
Mm, no?
Crash, you doing anything of
I'm
interest?
gonna, yeah, I'll go over to Drios as he's doing this infusion. I'll kind of say like, I haven't actually met too many magic users on my travels, so do you mind if I stick around for a bit and watch your work?
Of course, it is not terribly interesting, but you can stick around if you'd like.
Cool. She's gonna stand stock still. And when you finish, she'll say goodnight to you and stay in the hallway. And just kind of be there.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my night.
Good night, I suppose.
Good night.
Are you sure you do not want to sleep in a bed?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll go to the bed.
I think they provided us each with beds.
Right. I'm gonna stand for a sec. That's all right. Get
Oh,
used to the
yeah?
space. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Trios immediately goes to bed since he's in an actual bed now for so long, after so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels royal and fancy and noble and nice.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good right about now.
Mhm.
My bed's right over there.
All right. I'm gonna get my long rest in the hallway.
All right. Everybody long rest.
Always.
Let me know if you're changing any of the spells you have prepared.
I did.
I'm keeping the same spells, just changed the infusion, that's all.
I changed nearly all my spells.
Send me a chat with the new list.
The link should still just update, I think, right? You just refresh it.
I don't know.
Otherwise,
me
I can send you the
see.
link.
Let me see. Cure wounds, fairy fire, ice knife, speak with animals.
Nope.
What?
I will resend you the link.
All right, let me just refresh the link. Okay, cure wounds, detect poison, purify food, speak with animals. Well, we know what he's concerned about.
I have no attacking spells right now.
Neither do I, but I have done. That's
all I
the most
do,
magical attack spell of all.
I have horse.
I'm just gonna cast Mage Armor in the morning and switch out Enlarge Reduce for Crown of Madness.
Are you rest casting it, Mage Armor, with one of your remaining spell slots?
Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
How long does it last?
Yeah. 8 hours. So I guess I'll do that.
Yeah, you like wake up an hour before you would wake up, and you cast it using one of your remaining first level spell slots, and then you've got full spell slots all day.
Neat.
But-
That is a great trick.
But you want to save a spell slot before you go to bed so that you can rest cast it the next day. All right, I am doing a little bit of bookkeeping here. Okay. All right, y'all. So, any other changes or anything before you wake up? At night, you are all attacked, killed, and robbed. Just kidding, but
The robbing
So
is just
ready for
insult
it.
upon injury.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got 3 backup characters.
Oh, snap.
just keep in mind you may want to keep watch sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on what the DM has planned for you. And
Yes. Too sleepy.
too sleepy, too comfortable.
Mhm.
And so at 6 a.m., big old plates of bacon and eggs are placed in front of your doors in the hallway by servants, and the morning begins.
I give them all a little like weird nod. Standing in the hallway.
Yeah, she's been standing in the hallway all night.
Kaz would be would awaken at the smell of like really, really good food that he probably hasn't had in over a week now. Gets up, gets dressed, opens the door, gets his plate of food, scurries back in his room and just eats it. Then goes out in the hallway and sees who else is going to come out.
Uh, yeah, I go out and get my food too. I mean,
Yeah, I'll go out, and if Crash is still just sitting in the hallway, I'll just sit in the hallway and eat.
Any of y'all want extra portions? I'm gonna skip breakfast today. But
You're right. We should all skip. Save more room for brunch.
I guess so.
I suppose that is a good point.
Yes, but
Save room for the orange juice.
what time is it? Pray tell.
It's not any later than 6:30.
It's morning.
Y'all
Oh,
are-
right. But like,
6:30 in the morning.
yeah,
That's
would
not
like,
brunch time.
would Kaz know what time it is? Like, is there like clocks or anything like that in his room or?
You can see that the sun is just rising, so you would get a good idea.
Are there
Like-
clocks in this world?
Yeah, they're just expensive.
Kaz would look at everyone. Well, I think I will indulge myself just a little bit. It seems fairly early in the morning. I don't want to be caught off guard with a hungry belly. He begins to eat his food, but no, thank you, Crash. I don't really eat that much for staying nimble. Thank you,
Crash,
though.
do you
Fair enough.
ever eat
I
or sleep?
okay. I will clarify.
Hmm.
No,
Ah,
right.
I suspected.
I I I don't have an easy way of like showing you why Here. I can't eat much. I can for fun. I think it is, I don't know, yeah. I'm a little I don't know, I'm a metal cat. Like what do you I'm not like a normal person. I have a bit of a strange body.
I mean, I suppose all my metal creatures do not eat also, but I'm just curious. Were you always this way, or
No, yeah, okay. I'll do with yeah, all right. I'm being cagey for no reason. Well, once upon a time, a little version of me was a little Parvusian tabaxi. I died.
ah,
And with force of will and the spirit of my of some allies I had at the time, I came back. But I'm not really like, how do I put this? When you die, your body shuts down. So I don't have like a really working digestive system or anything. I'm kind of a moving body.
A zombie.
I don't like that word, but I'll accept it, sure.
Okay, I do apologize. It's just the only word in my
No,
whole
I mean I get it.
vocabulary.
I,
Okay.
I'm basically a zombie, but it's it's like a little.
well, you do not scream undead to me. So it is.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what.
I did find your eyes peculiar though. That is quite interesting. I must say, to defy death itself, you have a very strong will. I respect you more than before I have learned this.
I've never gotten that reaction. Um, but I appreciate it.
No problem. And do you mind if I inquire?
Hmm.
Yesterday night, you seemed very adamant about not having gold.
Oh,
Is that something else to go along with that, or is that just personal preference?
personal preference. I was a little overwhelmed last night and tonight, and morning. I yeah, it's a weird burden to carry. I don't carry money on me. I don't need to eat. So it's not like a necessity. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Feels wrong somehow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have a question. What are these bags? Like I had 5 of these before. I just kept them 'cause they were pretty. What do they do? Are they
Huh?
magic?
Wait. What did you say? What is what?
What is this bag with all these like little uh like gold like circles?
Shut.
What do they do? Are they
Oh,
magic? Can you eat them? I'm a bit confused, but it seemed rude to turn down a gift.
Oh. Oh.
have you ever traded pretty stones with anyone before?
No,
Yes. So
I don't think rocks are that cool. Like sometimes you find a cool rock. Are they cool rocks? Is that why?
pretty much. Uh, so
Well, why would
these.
anyone give away their cool rocks? You work so hard to find those cool rocks.
Well, what if you give away something you like for something you want more? So someone receives a cool rock, and in exchange they give something else. It could be something of equally cool or a service of some kind.
Hmm.
Equally cool.
Why can't you just make that cool thing yourself or do that service for yourself?
Well, if you liked, you've seen Milano, my horse. If you wanted a horse like that for yourself, do you
But
think
I
you'd
am
be
a
able to
horse.
just make one like that?
I am a horse.
Okay, what about Bella then? Do you think you could just make an
I'm
automaton
scared
yourself?
of birds. I wouldn't want one. I'm scared of birds.
Yeah, well, she's not a bird, so that I don't know why you're bringing that up.
Is she not a bird? Am I remembering this wrong?
She's a fox.
Oh, I remember that wrong. Then, well, I can make one.
Can you?
Yeah,
Really?
I
I can
doubt
be
that.
one.
I couldn't make one. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, mine's a bit more like incorporeal, or
Mm.
more like
Hmm.
Right.
So it has limits, you say. What if you wanted
No.
one exactly alike?
it could probably look like her.
Anyways, the point is being not everyone can make everything. And if they can, sometimes they simply do not have the time to do so. So they exchange these gold coins. They each have a standard value. The more you want something, the more you pay for it. But if you do not
Yes.
want yours, I shall be happy to hold on to your share as well.
I mean, you could have like 5 of them, but like I like the way they look. They
There
look
you go.
cool.
Yes, these coins are like art. It only has value when both parties see it as having value. These inherently have no value, nor any use, but because people think they have use, they have use.
Mm. And so Basnick understood capitalism.
Yes.
And so Basnick was raised into a hard line, like real capitalist dude.
Hmm.
After that incredibly long conversation about capitalism, it comes up on about 7:30 a.m. The
There
sun,
will be a pop quiz, Basnick. Be prepared.
the one clock in your quarters tells you this. And eventually there is a knock on the door. And because I am feeling sick, I'm going to not do the voice again. But Moyle is there with a rack of clothing. There are 2 outfits that look like Drios's outfit. There are a couple choices of black overcoat with gold thread for Kaz to choose from. And there is a princess from a poor country dress for Crash.
Just
And
embroidered in big letters, princess but poor on the back.
poor princess.
PvP.
As would grab the coat and suit that looks the most inconspicuous and bow his head deeply in gratitude to Moyle and tell him, why, thank you. You are quite skilled at what you do. That was very fast, and I see no flaw in this whatsoever. Thank you. You have my thanks.
Of course, happy to serve you.
Just the voice, anyways.
Yeah.
That's the low energy voice. Quieter Moyle. Moyle's like, please excuse me, I have a cough this morning. I'm speaking quietly. Ooh.
No worries, my good sir. It is 6 a.m. I do not expect you to be ecstatic in any way.
Please enjoy these garments, but compliments of the Queen and myself. I stayed up all night making them, so excuse me. I'm going to get some rest. Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Goodbye,
working
Moyle.
3rd shift is hard.
It is. Interesting that Basnik has never heard of money, but he's here third shift.
Oh,
He doesn't know a lot about the real world, but he's a fast learner.
Kaz would look at Basnik's suit and see if there's like a little cattail hole. Because he asked for one like Drio's. He's gonna see like if he actually like made it exactly like it or if he made it like for human.
It's got a hole in the butt.
It's got a hole in the butt.
Yep. Just like Drios's outfit. Perfect size for a horsetail.
What's that?
Is it like the Hulk's pants? Like it just shapes with me when I turn into a horse?
You
Yeah.
won't like me when I'm angry.
If you requested it, then you would
Have the
receive
horse around.
clothing that could work.
No, I'll just druid craft flowers around the butt where the tail would go. Just have a nice bouquet of flowers.
Very inventive. I love it, Basnik. It quite suits you. It really does. The nature theme to it is exquisite. Exotic even.
Oh, I wasn't going for anything. I just didn't know what else to wear, so I just copied Drios.
Oh,
He spoke first, so I was like, oh, he must know what he's doing.
oh. Still, you look nice.
You hear that, Drios? We look nice.
I knew that we both looked nice. Of course. What other alternative could there be when you choose to follow in my footsteps?
Yes, you wear humility almost as good as you wear that coat, Drios.
Mm,
Yes.
It's hard to be humble sometimes.
I can only
Yes.
imagine, you poor soul.
By the way, before we get into any uh, balls, do any of you want me to carry anything hidden for you? I do not expect that we will find any trouble, but it's always good to be prepared. I'm going to be keeping my weapons in this bag with me at all times. What about you?
You could take mine, I guess. I mean, I don't really use it. It was more used for like cutting wheat. I'll hand you a sickle.
Oh,
I've never used this to hurt anyone before.
I didn't know you had this, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That is quite a clever idea.
Is it
Yes.
rude if I like wear like? Do you notice if I wear leather armor under this? Is it rude to wear a shield?
Oh, shield.
I don't think so. That sounds right to me. Wouldn't
Just
they all
like
wear
a-
shields?
Just wear it like a hat.
Yeah.
Oh, like a shit, what are those things called? Like the big
Right.
like straw hats, you know, that are like
Right.
wide. Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Me neither.
Just wear it like that.
You could be the exotic royalty.
Well, because you or Trios, is that wrong to wear a shield and leather armor underneath?
It is certainly unconventional. You
Right.
will attract much attention.
All right, here,
Yes.
let me go take my armor. Here's my shield. Take those two.
Okay.
Huh. This is the lowest AC I've ever had on a character now.
Kaz would give Drios his rapier. Yes, if you could take this from me, that would be good. And later, if you do not mind, um if you could possibly help me just keep an ear out for anything out of the ordinary.
Of course.
Thank you.
Oh, and also, guys, I don't know. I just have a bad feeling. I'm gonna be looking for poison and stuff during this. You know, it just feels weird. Like the prince said, like no one knew he was gone, but then we got back here and there was people in the street applauding us, and now all of a sudden there's a feast.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
I think that's the right call.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be sticking next to the prince most of the time. I know he said to go talk to people. I hate talking to people, to be honest. I'm not very good at it. So I'll be on bodyguard duty.
All right.
I'll make sure it's poisoned or something.
I'm gonna put my dress on over my clothes. I just kind of do it in front of everyone. Just most of my I guess weaponry is a carry-on as a mage, so I'm not needing to give you anything, Drios.
Very well.
I'm just wondering, so I've seen Crash Crash never takes her clothes off and she never sleeps.
Mhm.
How does Crash smell?
So to
Does she have
me,
BO? She's made out of metal.
she smells
Oh.
probably like nothing. I feel like she has a weird lack of smell.
Dead. She's
Which
dead, but I guess maybe she
'cause-
doesn't have the sweat.
well, she doesn't sweat because she's like dead people don't sweat, or at least if my imagining of how this works is that she probably used to smell really bad. There was probably a good 2 years where things were not good for old corpse smell, but I think now it's just a nice nothing. It's just a weird absence of smell.
Did y'all ever used to collect coins like to cash in at the Walmart coin thing? I feel like she just smells like that big
Oh,
bottle
yeah.
of coins, just of
Yeah.
metal.
Or yeah, metal. I think metal is good. Or a little ozone maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smell of a big barrel of coins is definitely conjuring an image.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's distinct.
Yeah.
A scent image. Well, we're going to stick to the originally postulated 2.5 hour limit tonight due to my illness.
Yeah.
So I've had the brunch ball prepared for the last half an hour, but
We're too talkative.
But we talk too much.
the education on capitalism and other things. But you know what? That's good. That's good. You all
It's a
found
good drop off point.
Yeah.
you all found out about Crash's the reason she stands around in hallways all night.
Just super normal, super chill.
And but I will say this about the brunch ball. The brunch ball does have a hedge maze
Neat.
and
That's
a dance competition, among other things.
All right.
So a little something to yeah, the
Snap.
blade
Nice.
singer is really excited now.
Yeah, yeah.
So something to consider between now and the next game about the brunch ball. It's an elaborate situation that will be fun to go through. So let's move to some checkouts. I think, was it 2 people or 3 people have inspiration right now?
I have mine.
3 people have
Two
inspiration.
people. Sorry, I put up my hand to say two
Uh,
because I thought that's what Zach was doing.
No,
I think we can do an inspo vote between the 2 inspo lists. So we've got something you enjoyed about the session itself, something you enjoyed that another player did, and then inspo vote twixt Crash and Trios. And Trevor, you're up.
Oh shit! I never go first in this. Enjoyed the session itself. It's gotta be when we're telling bullshit of a story that was just going every which way, and thank God for some good dice rolls because that story really did not make sense. We like double backed like 3 times on it. Enjoyed that another player did. Again, I'd have to say Trios for being the one that keeps us on task is the only like seemingly sane one that keeps us on track.
I'm the one who held the capitalism discussion.
Yeah.
I mean that's okay, but you were the one that was like, yeah, I scouted out the place. I found out that they were captured by bandits, and then me and everyone else just kind of threw that to the wind. Is like, hey, yeah, they also have a lover, and they're older, and they're adopted, and
He was
Crash's
embarrassed
brother.
because his fiance was older than him. What a freaking
Yeah,
weirdo.
makes sense.
Yeah. Inspo vote. Probably to Crash for revealing backstory in a very organic way, and also just the sheer panic that you were instilling on when you were it was your turn to talk about the what happened to the prince.
Appreciate it.
Was that was a vote for Crash?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, the sheer panic. The uh uh I'm the lover's mother. All right. Jonathan, you're up.
I mean, yeah, that was definitely like the highlight of the session, just that whole interaction. Um, like I said, just Basnik trying to explain that the prince was actually embarrassed and is lying because he wasn't dating a cat. Actually, it was a normal lady, and that's freaking how weird, right? um, I don't know, like uh, this whole session was just a good, good old role playing time.
Yeah.
Got to have some good discussions. And I don't know that any of one of us did particularly better at any of that. So, I mean, I'm gonna give my vote to Crash, obviously, because I can't give my vote to myself. But also, I just had the inspiration. It's time to pass the conch.
That's my conch blowing nose. Zach.
I love this session. It was so chaotic, by far the most chaotic, just because that whole um instance with the queen. And it's like I really liked it how the prince just kept fumbling everything, no matter how good we all rolled. It was just like he was just this little bumbling kid. Yeah. I love that whole dynamic. I honestly didn't know what was going to happen, and I was excited to see what was going to happen. And then like Drew, Jonathan was saying with Trevor, when he was just like, no, he was actually dating a regular girl, but she was like older. Yeah, that's what's it. She was older than. But by far my favorite thing that someone did was probably Crash. I mean, yeah, Eve with Crash, because right when she said that she was the mother of the girl that she was saying, I was like, oh no. Because I wasn't sure like I forgot how old she looks, and I was like,
Mm.
she's in the teenage camp. She can't be that old. I was like, we're dead. We're all we're all gonna be executed.
How old
And
is Crash?
So Crash sure does look like, I guess she is a cat made of metal, with
Yeah,
no
like,
discernible features.
were her features frozen around a certain
Yeah,
age?
kind of a weirdly abstract looking person. I'd say like if you don't hang out with, like, I feel like it's weirdly hard to judge the age of a tabaxi because they're a cat. Like I
Mhm.
feel like there's a good strong, yeah, I feel like to Drios and Drios alone, she looks like 28.
No, that's about the same age as Trios, actually.
it's not. Hey, that's really cool. I like that dynamic. And
I know
yeah,
her age.
it's not.
I
You
know
sure?
her.
Actually, wait, hold on. I have a more specific age. I feel like that which is, hold on. That's fine. Maybe a little younger, actually.
I think you wrote an age.
So I guess I'll be me. So she stopped aging when she died. So like, I'll drop that. Uh, so she certainly looks one age, but might be another.
Oh.
I don't remember what age she was when she died. Didn't write it down. Yeah, like 20-ish, 20 to 25, maybe.
Nice. Bro, I was so lost, and I was in for the ride to the bitter end. It was awesome. And for the inspiration vote, I want to give it to Eve Crash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yo,
All right. And Eve.
Ooh, something I enjoyed that session. I enjoyed being terrified. I think the like, so I do like try and to keep myself focused in these sessions, drink a little caffeine. That's my ritual. I drink a yerba mate.
Oh shit.
And yeah. Um Actually I drink the like hot tea version. So uh uh it so being a little caffeinated and having a like Crash the character was in a waking nightmare. And I, the person, was a little caffeinated and a little anxious and a little too into it. So I got to experience a very like ego death situation where I was kind of in between my character and my own experience of genuinely stumbling through lying to the queen who actively was kind of laughing at me for lying to her. Like it was a wild experience. There's a weird moment, a weird feeling right when you feel like you might die in a D&D campaign. That's where I was at for a minute. I really liked Kaz this session. I feel like he had some cool moments. I liked the little like asking the queen where to like look for someone. That was a cool little backstory drop, and I thought Kaz was very like eloquent in our kind of weird mishmash storytelling to the queen. I feel like we all had, it was kind of hard to keep track of what was happening in character in that moment, but you sounded good.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, and my inspo vote goes to Drios.
What?
I think you did a good job
What?
this session. You deserved it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
thanks.
I was so happy I got to use the duplicate spell. I didn't think I'd ever be able to use it.
The distort value.
Oh yeah, distort value, that's it.
It's a
I
cool
liked it.
spell. I didn't know what that was.
I need to remind myself next session to I have something I want to do with the thing that Zach said.
Oh,
So all I have to do is remember that at the beginning of next session. So we'll see how well my brain works. I have never seen that queen lying conversation go so insanely in my life. That was nuts. I've run that conversation a few times and it's gone poorly for some and boringly for others, but this was far from boring. And what a tangled web you wove, and how will it come back to bite you? Will someone show up pretending to be Fiona? I don't know, but I feel like who knows what sort of corners you've painted yourselves into with the story about the nomadic dirty brigands and the and his older lover. In any case, that was really entertaining. I enjoyed Crash's revealing her background. I enjoyed Kaz asking about the family stuff, which I want to touch on next time, and also practicing the Blade song alone in his room. And Drios, always the voice of reason, is keeping everything on track.
It's a stressful role to have.
Only imagine.
Yeah, and also Drios managing not to lie during the thing. If you said you were reading Wheel of Time,
Yeah,
I always find the Aes Sedai thing where they like,
that's what I'm trying to do.
yeah, where they never lie, but they speak.
They're super misleading.
Yeah, I love that. I love that aspect of them. So I enjoyed your speaking the truth without lying, and yeah, whenever I read people doing that in those books, and I like the idea of using it in action. So I enjoyed hearing that in action. And Trevor, your commitment to Horseman's journey. The what are these gold circles in a bag, and what are they for? Um, yeah, and also just like I'll wear whatever Drios is wearing. I enjoy Basnik immensely, so I really look forward to seeing the four of you blunder through the brunch ball, winning influence among the nobles, or perhaps perhaps not. So we'll see. Perhaps losing influence among the nobles. So we'll see how all of that plays out, along with the dance competition at the brunch ball next week. And I need to get healthy because I'm intensely tired. So I'm gonna go to bed. But I will see you all